Today we're going to be looking at Lunar Tides in the color Magic Charm. So I've got my swatches labeled 1 through 12, but that is not synonymous with hair levels. Later in the video, I'll do different video clips and pictures and such, so the numbers just help us keep track of each swatch. These are human hair swatches, but the only one that's going to be virgin hair is the number 4 black swatch. The rest have been chemically colored or bleached or treated at some point in their existence. 1 is green. The undertone of this is supposed to be more of like pinky purple, so I wanted to see how that would do over a green. 2 is like a cool toned gray. 3 is a natural red. 4 again is black, so 4 to 11 is a range that goes to platinum blonde, and then 12 is kind of like a toned version of number 11. So I'll start by taking the dye directly from the container and I will apply it at the top of each swatch. Then some people do like to dilute their dyes, so I'll do a diluted version at the bottom of each swatch. Please keep in mind everyone's hair is different, which means everyone's hair could take color differently. Plus different screens and monitors and such can make colors look kind of different. So please just use my video as a reference for how this could possibly turn out for you.
You got this sophistication. I hate when we talk through our phones. We have our hopes and our dreams, every little thing between. Maybe this can't be. I read the note that you gave me through the moonlight in my bedroom. A part to start, build on. Maybe must have started this too soon. Laying in my bed and I'm listening to Michael. Wishing you were here, we could lay for a while. Broke down to the note you gave me, saying that you had to think it through. What did you think I'd do? We were just fine through the summer, undercovers tucked away.
For the diluted section, it's going to sound like a lot, but we're going to do a 1 to 16 ratio. So that will be 1 part of the dye to 16 parts of diluter. So essentially you might want like a bowl with diluter in it and just add slowly the Magic Charm, because since this is meant to be a black, it takes a lot to dilute it. Also, if you're not sure what a diluter is, I always just give a really simple answer that it's something that lightens the color of a semi-permanent dye. Each brand does usually sell their own version of a diluter, so you can always use that if it makes you feel more comfortable. But to keep things consistent between my videos, I always just use a plain white conditioner for diluting.
Wishing you were here, we could lay for a while. Broke down to the note you gave me, saying that you had to think it through. What did you think I'd do? We don't ever have to be alone inside our thoughts. Would you like that? I think I like that. 22, we never knew we lived inside a box. And we're panicked, kinda romantic. I read the note that you gave me through the moonlight in my bedroom.
Alright, I'm going to let these sit for about 3 hours so that they can really take the color. I will then rinse them out, and when they're dry, I will meet you back here and we'll do some comparisons. Oh my gosh, I just filmed this whole video and it wasn't filming. Okay, so I have to go again. So before we get too far into this, I do want to say that I have an affiliate code with Lunar Tides, so you can use code FLAXY to get 15% off your order. And like I said, this is an affiliate code, so I do make a small commission every time this code is used, so thank you so much if you do use my code. So I want to start by looking at the direct dye portion. I'm pretty sure I see a difference on every single swatch except the number 4 black swatch, which that one is already black and it's virgin hair, so it does make sense. And if you're not aware, usually virgin hair has a harder time taking semi-permanent color, and even if it does take, there's a good chance that it'll wash out quite quickly, which is another reason why doing a strand test is very important. So number 1 was originally green. On the diluted section, I don't feel like it covered colored amazingly. Some spots still look kind of green, and the spots that did color are kind of muted to the point where I don't really see a lot of the pinky color coming through. So I would say maybe try to have a lighter shade of green if you are looking to try and dilute this color. 2 was the gray. And that one I think leaned a little bit blue because the diluted section is very, very purple. And usually number 2 is my cool tone swatch. It always looks more cool toned, but it's extremely purple. So I'm thinking it was a little bit blue in undertone beforehand. So if you have a slightly more true gray, it'll probably look a little bit more purple than this, but I don't know if it would be as purple as number 2. Number 3 was the natural red, and I'm kind of struggling to see a difference. There might be a slight warmth coming through, like a slight pinkiness, but it's so close to how it looked before. Maybe we'll be able to tell in the before and after clip. Interestingly enough, I am noticing that on some of the brown swatches, the direct eye portion isn't as rich and dark. It's almost turning into a soft black, especially on number 7. I see that happening. The lighter these swatches get, the darker and more rich the black looks, and that might have something to do with the porosity of the hair the lighter it gets, which I hope you can see that on camera because it is quite interesting. As for the diluted sections, I don't feel like there's a huge difference between 10, 11, and 12. 12 is definitely a little bit more cool toned than the 10 and 11, and the 10 isn't quite as saturated looking as number 11, but overall they're quite similar. And then the darker the hair gets, the less saturated it looks, and almost kind of natural, like unnatural natural. I think 6 and 5 are pretty much the same. If there is an undertone difference, it's very hard to see. They still look quite brown. 7 is similar. I think there is a slight difference on number 7, but it still holds a quite brown quality. So as for comparisons, I haven't done a ton of black dyes on my channel yet, and especially not a bunch of black dyes with a lot of different undertones. So the first color I actually wanted to compare this to is not a black dye, but it's a very, very dark purple with pink undertone. And that's going to be one and only in the color Neon Purple. So this is comparable to number 12, number 11, number 10, and number 9. The Magic Charm is marketed as being a kind of pinky undertoned black. I would definitely say it did turn a little bit more purple than I was expecting, but at the same time, since it's a black that we're diluting, I don't know how pink you can really get it without it looking a little bit purple, but I feel like next to the Neon Purple, it does look even more purple. The Neon Purple diluted has a very pink quality. It almost kind of turns into like a fuchsia color, and obviously it's a lot brighter. Magic Charm is a little bit dustier when you dilute it, which once again, it's a black, so that definitely makes sense. So if Magic Charm is a little bit too dark for you, I think the Neon Purple might be a good option because it's still quite dark, but it's also a very warm toned purpley pinky color. The other comparison I wanted to do is actually another Lunar Tides color. Since this does have a slightly more purple quality, just by a little bit, I thought it would be cool to compare this to Magic Salem, which is the Lunar Tides black with a purple undertone. So this is comparable to number 12, number 11, number 10, and number 9. All right, so now compared to the Salem, you can see way more pink coming through for the Magic Charm, especially because the Magic Salem is a very cool tone purple, but it's definitely still purple. And I, once again, not sure if this will pick up on camera, but earlier I was saying how the Magic Charm almost looked kind of like a softer black on number 7. Well, compared to the Magic Salem, I'm actually kind of seeing that on the blonder swatches as well. The Salem is so cool toned that it gives this dark richness to the black, whereas I think some of the warmth from Magic Charm is making that black appear a little bit softer. And I'm actually really glad you can see the undertone differences in the black, even though they are black. Okay, so now I'd like to get into our before and after clips. Those, as well as anything past this point in the video, will now be done in natural lighting.
I wanna know what you listen to when you lay in bed alone. You got this sophistication. I hate when we talk through our phones. We have our hopes and our dreams, every little thing between. Maybe this can't be. I read the note that you gave me through the moonlight in my bedroom. A part to start, built on, maybe must have started this too soon. Laying in my bed and I'm listening to Michael. Wishing you were here, we could lay for a while. Broke down to the note you gave me, saying that you had to think it through. What did you think I'd do? We were just fine through the summer, under covers tucked away. When fall came, now I'm here and you're there. Distance takes a toll on me. We have our hopes and our dreams, every little thing between. Maybe this can't be. I read the note that you gave me through the moonlight in my bedroom. A part to start, built on, maybe must have started this too soon. Laying in my bed and I'm listening to Michael. Wishing you were here, we could lay for a while. Broke down to the note you gave me, saying that you had to think it through. What did you think I'd do? We don't ever have to be alone inside our thoughts. Would you like that? I think I like that. 22, we never knew we lived inside a box. And we're panicked, kinda romantic. I read the note that you gave me through the moonlight in my bedroom. A part to start, built on, maybe must have started this too soon. Laying in my bed and I'm listening to Michael. Wishing you were here, we could lay for a while. Broke down to the note you gave me, saying that you had to think it through. What did you think I'd do? What did you think I'd do?
I hope my video helped. If you have a request, I do have a link below to a Google form you can fill out. Just remember, I only do brands that do not test on animals. Thank you so much to my patrons, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.